version.
We on fire.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Are we?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Welcome to the next episode. No.
Hello and welcome to Dylan's Deep Cuts, a podcast mini-series where I and my best mate and manager, Megan, go into detail about how I remade some of my old music after coming out as transgender and transitioning. Just a little note, this episode contains explicit language. In this episode, we'll be looking at my songs, Lose Myself and Lights Come Down.
Welcome to another episode of Dylan's Deep Cuts
Oi,
with
with me, Dylan Holloway.
and me, Megan MP, aka The Moon.
Today, we're going to be looking at a couple of songs. These ones have been requested by our lovely listeners. We're going to be first looking at a song of mine called Lose Myself, and then swiftly moving on to another one of mine called Lights Come Down.
Yes.
Which we didn't make a new version of, but it has an interesting story behind it. So we were like, why not?
Exactly. And the interesting thing about this as well is the fact that we weren't even intending to do Lose Myself and Lights Come Down.
No.
But the listeners obviously know best.
The people want what the people want.
I know, exactly. Why don't we first listen to the original version of Lose Myself?
Okay, play it.
Kicked my brains across the floor. I'm a trap and you're the bear. Shot me good. You're Cruella in the head. I'm like steroids in a shark when the marionette's around. You're a monkey in a cage making alligator sounds. I tell you you're insane. You tell me I'm from Psycho Town. We must be full of moonlight. Going roller coaster crazy. You say we better go, don't kid yourself. Cause if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. We're becoming close to maniacs. You say we better stop, what the hell? Cause if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. La da 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 da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da. Yeah, if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. Pogo stick, my thoughts are wild, and you're about to blow. All our eyes are seeing red light, broke kaleidoscopes. I'm like King Kong on the edge, you're a landmine underground, giving candy to a bitch, taking orders from a clown. I tell you you're insane, you tell me I'm from Psycho Town. We must be full of moonlight, going roller coaster crazy. You say we better go, don't kid yourself. Cause if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. We're becoming close to maniacs. You say we better stop, what the hell? Cause if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. La da 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 da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da. Yeah, if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. La da 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 da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da. Yeah, if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. Stop now and let me love. Can't 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 stop now, can't stop. We're going roller coaster crazy. You say we better go, don't kid yourself. Cause if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. We're becoming close to maniacs. You say we better stop, what the hell? Cause if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. La da 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 da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da. Yeah, if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. La da 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 da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da. Yeah, if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself.
what's the story behind Lose Myself? Where did that come from? It's quite playful.
Yeah, funny. A lot of this season of my life was about me and my girlfriend, and we were having a row, and it was kind of like one-upmanship of like, well, if you say this, then I'm going to say this, and I wasn't so spiritually enlightened. And then it was just like, you know, people like yelling at each other and just saying stupid shit. And it was just at one point, I think someone said something that was just really stupid and dumb, and I was like, what are you talking about? And then she went to work. And then I got my guitar out, and it was just this like, oh, this is so silly because you know that you want me and I know that I want you, but we're having this row. And then I was like, why don't I make that into this comedy almost? And it was never supposed to be released. It was more for like me and her. And I was like, I've written you this thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you're like an alligator and I'm a gorilla or whatever, like King Kong on the edge, and you're a landmine underground, giving candy to a bitch, taking orders from a clown. Like, it was just like, you know? And it was just a bit of fun, really. And then I played it to her and she was like, you're hilarious. I actually think it's one of my favorite songs you've ever written. And I was like, I'm going to make it.
That's how you managed to repair
Yes.
a relationship.
Yes, for anyone out there.
Write a song.
Come to me, I can be a great agony uncle.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So for context, this was the second track you redid and released after Heaven Now.
Yeah.
So why did you pick this one?
Why?
Why
did you do that? Well, I was just going through a really fun time in my life where I'd been through a lot of my vocal transition, and I was writing new music, and I was using a lot of my old projects to reference stuff, and I'd opened up Heaven Now, and I'd like re-sung it in my voice now, and I was like, this is epic, like I'm really enjoying how this sounds. And I just had this thought of like, what about the other songs? How do they sound? And Lose Myself was just the next project that I opened up, and I went, oh, this could be really fun to remake.
Yeah.
And Heaven Now, I'd played it to a few of our friends, and they were like, Dylan, this is really cool what you're creating here. And I was like, just gonna give it a go.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And it really shows that you love the sound of your own voice because you still got the headphones on.
Oh, yeah. So I'd say, come off. I wonder why it sounded so echoey today. Anyway.
Yeah, so fun times. And yeah, this is probably the most fun track. And to be honest, I'm really not surprised that the listeners want this one because it always goes off. Live.
Live shows. We often end with Lose Myself, or it's like the pre-encore track, because it's just such a vibe. It's so upbeat, and everyone loves the sort of like da 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 da.
Yeah,
it's really fun to sing. Apart from my housemates who hated that section of the song when I was re-recording it, because there was moments when I was like trying to get. I basically re-recorded a lot of the music because I'll tell you for why in a moment, or now actually, because it was to do it in the same key. I wasn't able to sing it in the same key, whereas Heaven Now, I directly translated down the octave.
Right, okay.
For the chorus, whereas Lose Myself, I just couldn't physically sing it in the key that it was in, so I had to transpose the song, which meant a lot of the parts that were in the original no longer sounded good when you you move the music down. There's like a lot of artifacts come out. It sounds like gritty and gravelly. It just doesn't work anymore if you sort of like interrupt the thing.
Yeah, because I was going to say, on this track, this is the only track that you've got with like live horns on the original.
Yeah.
So did you use those same project files? Or?
Yeah, I did. And I'll tell you about it. But what was annoying for my housemates was that because I was redirecting a lot of the music down and then had to create a lot of new stuff, there was this one day when I was just trying to get that la 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 bam 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 bam, just the intro thing, and I remember Rourke busting into my room like, Dylan, can we have 1 second without na 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 na? And I was like, ooh. And it has a lot of wonky sounds in it that my housemates just didn't need to hear a wolf howl at like 11 p.m. at night. But the people want what the people want, and it's a wolf howl.
Yeah, sorry, I did cut you off about the that particular anecdote.
Yes,
there.
But yes, the project files.
Yeah.
So I basically went back in and I was like, I can't sing this in the same key, so I'm going to have to transpose it. And for anyone out there who doesn't know what that means, in music, you can either go down or you can go up. And I couldn't sing it in the key that it was in, so I just transposed it down. And I had to go down 6 semitones to actually land in a place where I could sing the chorus. And I'll get my guitar out. Here's one I made earlier.
I knew
Here's
you were
one I
gonna say
made
that.
earlier. So this is where the song is originally here. Somebody, I'd rather lose myself. And it was really high when I did this in 2022. So I was here on the C and I had to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to F sharp major, which is where it is now. I basically took the harmonies that me, Simon and Chloe did, which is ba-da-ba-da-ba, and what you would think to do is also bring them down 6 semitones. So this is the original one. I'll play it to you.
Yeah, if I'm gonna lose somebody.
And then what I did was to put it down 6 semitones, which sounded like this. But the problem with that is that it all sounds quite like muddy. Like it sounds kind of like it's just a bit dark, and it brought the whole track, the mood of the track down, because it sounded really weighty. So at the same time that you can sort of move down, I decided that instead what I would try is putting them up 6 semitones. So from here it goes up here. So when you shift the pitch upwards, they end up sounding like this, which I thought was really cool. So it has this kind of like really fun, I don't know, they just sit in this range in the track, which is kind of up here in the mix.
Yeah, exactly.
And it perks your ears up to be like, what is that? Because it's obviously a human voice, but it doesn't sound like a human voice anymore. It's almost like Alvin and the Bloody Chipmunks. You know?
Yeah.
So it was just quite a fun thing to do. And I was like, that sounds really cool. And I did the exact same thing with the horn section. So originally I brought them down, but it just sounded too weighty and too weird. So I did, I'll play it to you. I also shifted them up, and it sounds like this. And I just loved it. I just thought it was it was just cool. Like it just sounded different to me. It sounded like I could have re-sung the harmonies. I could have got Chloe and Simon to re-sing them, and I could have used a new trumpet part. But I was like, why? I wanted to use old Lots Holloway stuff, and I wanted my voice to be in there in a different way, so that I could use myself, like we've said before, as like a female backing singer.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, it was a really cool and fun thing to do, actually.
Well, it takes the reworking to a whole different level, because if it was just a simple process of, okay, let's completely recreate the track.
Yeah.
You could have done that with all of them.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually, there's something to be said for like staying particularly true to everything that you did at that time. And it was like, well, this is how I can rework all of these things. It's not you being cheap, like not wanting to pay for another whole horn part being recorded or anything.
Nothing to do with that. No, it was. I wanted to be playful with it.
Exactly.
I'd come to this new place in my life where I was like, I feel good about it. I want to bring Lots on this journey, and how can I implement them in this track?
Yeah, and you had that entire creative experience as Lots at the time of the original recording.
Yeah.
And yeah, fine, you could go and redo it.
Yeah.
But it's really capturing the energy that was there at the start.
Yeah.
And it is the true reworking of the track, and it just adds that extra level.
Yeah.
And it's great to actually expose those parts.
Yeah.
And listen to them on their own.
Yeah, because if you're listening to it blind to that, you might not actually know that that's my voice in there, which is why we wanted to also reference Lots Holloway in the release. Do you remember, if you go on any of the like music streaming services, it actually says Dylan and the Moon and Lots Holloway. So that we wanted to be like, it's a collaboration. And so it was really cool just to sort of like bundle it together.
No, I love that.
It was very fun doing this one. I remember also making a lot of TikToks around this time, because it was such a new thing for me to be even experimenting with. And I'd made one TikTok about it, like, hi, I'm Dylan, I'm trans, and I'm making new versions of my old songs with my new voice, and then like showing people like shifting the pitch and showing stuff, and everyone was just like, this is really cool. So I was like, why not?
I think that's great, and it must be cool for, you know, if there are other trans artists wanting to rework their old music, exposing actually part of that creative process to give people ideas and inspire them as to what they can do. Not just trans, but, you know, if you were a dude whose voice has broken over the years and you're like, damn, I really can't sing that. Or, do you know what I mean?
There are ways to be like ingenuitive, or like how you can do stuff. Just be more creative. Like, you don't have to completely restart your life.
No.
You can integrate everything together. And that's what I really like about this track and the ones that we have remade.
And what about, so on the original release, we can't go past Lose Myself without talking about where we shot the music video.
I was hoping you were going to bring up the music video, because we haven't made a new version yet, and I actually really want to, for some obvious reasons, perhaps. Maybe not with the same girl.
No.
Can we talk about that?
I don't know.
Let's not.
I don't think she's watching.
Okay.
But
yeah.
So I don't know. We often find ourselves in some odd places.
We do.
And meeting interesting and eccentric people.
Nicely put.
But I think this really did top it.
Yeah.
Actually, how did you even meet Simon Drake?
So for anyone who doesn't know, Simon Drake runs the House of Magic, which is a house of magic in London, and he does like these magic shows there, and he also lives in this house. But it's a very strange place to go in, because he has the quarters upstairs, and then downstairs is this like live room and the stage, and there's walking around it anywhere you go, if you touch something or like something can just jump out at you. It's actually quite creepy place to be.
Trapdoors, all sorts.
Why did I meet him? I can't remember why, but I was invited, maybe as like a, not that I haven't really done a lot of this stuff before, but I think I was invited as like an influencer to go to the show and like talk about it. So I went, and it was really great. I had a really great time. And then when I was there, I was like, this is the kind of place I would love to put a show on. And he'd never done music there before, and I don't think he has since. I think it was just that one, we did a gig there. And that was it. I asked him, can I shoot a music video here? And he was like, yeah. If we maybe do this kind of exchange, like, why don't you do a gig? And I was like, that was what I was thinking initially when I came. So we agreed that I would shoot the music video there, and that we would also put on a show. And we did both. And the show was really cool, because it was almost like, it was like a stripped back gig. And we had to bring in the desk. We had to bring in everything, because it wasn't equipped for sound system.
That's right.
So we had to bring everything in. And we had a really epic time. And it was almost like, it was like a Nirvana MTV Unplugged show, because we had like lights everywhere and everyone was sitting down. There was also like pizza. Do you remember?
Yeah.
All the audience had pizza, and it was a really cool show, and it was very, very intimate, like very interactive. Like there were people talking to me on stage. It was such a good gig.
It was like a cabaret evening, wasn't it?
Yes.
Sort of like an evening with.
Yeah. It was wicked. And then, we shot the music video there as well, which is epic. Yeah. It's still one of my favorite music videos, just because of the storyline and how we shot it. It just looks, I just really love it. It's so playful.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like, and you'll come and be like, right, so here's the concept, and I want to do this, I want to do that. And obviously at that time, one-man band.
Shoestring budget.
Yeah, shoestring.
What do you mean at
budget.
the time?
If only they could see how professionals sat now.
And the masking tape. Anyway.
Yeah, so at the time, I suppose we did upgrade ourselves, because we've got Nelly now, who actually knows what she's doing.
Yeah, Nelly actually knows how to do stuff.
So one-man band, which was like, should we buy a camera and I can just shoot the videos? Yeah, let's do that.
But what was cool about this one is that we had this image in our mind of this really wonky scenery and like lots of different rooms, and then me in my suit, like Christian Grey suit, and then a girl, and the whole like tying up and the twist at the end.
Yeah.
And the band being there, and actually, for one of the first times, we pulled it off, and it was exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, it actually had a storyline to it, which is actually often really difficult in the edit to actually get across what you're like trying to do. All right, so now let's listen to the new version.
Yes.
You kicked my brains across the floor. I'm a trap and you're the bear. You shot me good. You're Cruella in the head. I'm like steroids in a shark when the Mary ain't around. You're a monkey in a cage making alligator sounds. I tell you you're insane. You tell me I'm from Psycho Town. We must be full of moonlight. Going roller coaster crazy. You say we better go, don't kid yourself. Cause if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. We're becoming close to maniacs. You say we better stop, what the hell? Cause if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. La da 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 da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da. And if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. Oh, go stick, my thoughts are wild, and you're about to blow. All our eyes are seeing red like broke kaleidoscopes. I'm like King Kong on the edge, you're a landmine underground, giving candy to a bitch, taking orders from a clown. I tell you you're insane, you tell me I'm from Psycho Town. We must be full of moonlight. Going roller coaster crazy. You say we better go, don't kid yourself. Cause if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. We're becoming close to maniacs. You say we better stop, what the hell? Cause if I'm gonna lose somebody, lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. La da 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 da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da. And if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. Can't stop now, we're madly in love. We can't stop now, we're madly in love. We can't stop now, we're madly in love. We can't stop now. Can't stop now, we're madly in love. We can't stop now, we're madly in love. We can't stop now, we're madly in love. We can't stop now. Going roller coaster crazy. You say we better go, don't kid yourself. Cause if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. We're becoming close to maniacs. You say we better stop, what the hell? Cause if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. La da 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 da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da. And if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself. La da 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 da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da. And if I'm gonna lose somebody, I'd rather lose myself.
So yeah, really, really fun song. We're also going to talk about Lights Come Down.
Yes, I'd love to.
Now, this is still like a really, really fun song. Like when you listen to it,
Yeah.
it's uplifting. It's got a really beautiful message behind it. But obviously, it's actually quite a sad. Like the reason why the song exists is like a sad story behind it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So basically, the original writing of Lights Come Down was because I was going through a really rough time, and also my girlfriend at the time was going through something quite rough as well, and we were just both in kind of like negative places, and I wanted to help her, and I think she obviously wanted to help me, but it was just like when you're both fighting your own battles, it's just difficult to do that. And I was thinking about me at the time, and like the feeling I was trying to express was how like sad I was about, you know, my life and my trans journey, and how I wasn't being the person I wanted to be. And I was thinking like the chords came up at a bum 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 bum, and it felt, I was like, oh my god, that's so comforting. Like it felt really nice. It felt like someone was giving me a hug.
Yeah.
And then I was like, the original lyrics that came out were like, hold me when the lights come down, someone hold me when the walls cave in. And I liked that because in that moment it healed me.
Yeah.
And it was very like validating. And what I then decided though was like, although that was very self-serving and I got a lot of out of it, I wanted then to flip the narrative and be like, now that I've felt better about me, now the lyric can be, I'll hold you when the lights come down, I'll hold you when the walls cave in, whenever you need me, it'll be there. And I was like, now it's become a song that I want to share with people. It had served its purpose for me, and now I want it to serve other people. And I played it to my girlfriend, and she also had the same experience of being like, thank you so much, like that feels really like a big warm hug. And then it was just a case of knowing that production deserved a choir. It was just like, it has this sort of Americana feel to it, like
gritty,
bluesy, upright piano in like a smoky bar or something. And I just wanted, or like a church even, and I just wanted a choir. And I thought to myself, how can I acquire a choir? Really? And then in that moment, I had this memory that I had met a wonderful lady called Becky a couple years before in a pub, because at the time I was playing like covers in pubs, and I was playing Breakfast in America. Don't you look at my girlfriend. And then out of nowhere, like through the mist at the back, and I heard this clarinet, an actual clarinet, start playing the clarinet part halfway through the song. And I was like, what is happening here? And someone at the back of the room had a clarinet out. And I had to wait till the end of my set to go over and be like, who the hell are you? Nice to meet you. And it was, I can't remember his name. I think he was called Jim. But he was with this lady called Becky. And we got to talking. And I was like, what do you guys do? And she was like, I am a choir master. Like, I run a choir in South London.
And he said, I play the clarinet.
I play the clarinet. I was like, go away, Jim.
Not now.
Not now. Anyway, and then, you know, cut to me making Lights Come Down. I was like, where can I acquire a choir? And I was like, Becky. I'll just contact Becky and see if that's even the kind of thing that they would consider doing. And I got in contact and I was like, this is what I'm doing. And she said to me, Dylan, or Lots at the time, I have been wanting to work with like an artist for a long time and get the choir involved on an artist project, but we haven't been brave enough to sort of reach out to people because we didn't know if that's what they wanted. So you coming now is like so timely. And I was like, well, here you go. Here's the song. Please write something. She came to my house. We played around, and then she went and taught it to the choir, and I had them come into the studio. Obviously, there's too many of them to do it at my house, so we got a studio. I was working with Simon, and we got the choir in, and it was one of the most magical experiences because we just had all the mics set up and they came in this sort of semicircle, how you can imagine it, and their voices were so beautiful. It just elevated the whole track. It was exactly what I wanted. And then we went on to do a live performance of this at one of their nights, so it was kind of this exchange thing again. You know, as like independent musicians, a lot of what we do is sort of like, you know, how can we help you and how can you help me? So in exchange for that, I then went and performed at one of their I think it was like a Christmas concert where they were raising money for the choir, and I went and performed this song and Heaven Now that they are also on. Yeah. Because that happened after. They are also on, and I did perform those two songs live with them, and it's such a wonderful experience. And I'm still in contact with a bunch of them now. Like, they're nice. So good. We're thinking about maybe doing something more in the future.
Oh, that would be amazing because
it was brilliant.
We included them in the music video as well, didn't we?
We did,
which was great. And yeah, what was really nice about it was the bringing together of a lot of people. It really, not only musically did it serve the song, but in the music video it really served it. Like the room that we managed to get for it was very similar to what you were describing.
Yeah, actually, the smoky bar thing. Yeah, it was good. Which was lovely. And then also because of the sentiment of the track and what you've just explained about wanting to share that with other people, we sought out a collaboration with a charity called The Mix. The Mix, yes, we did.
Which was a mental health charity
for young people.
Yes, and that was a really nice thing to do. We raised awareness. We worked with them and put their branding on all of the release campaign, which was just really nice. And I think it all came from, as you just mentioned, different parts of the industry. Everyone has this common understanding of trying to spread joy. You just had to facilitate that.
Yeah,
Do you know
exactly,
what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is lovely. It was a real lovely collaborative effort. It really mirrored the sentiment of the song. I
know what someone's going to ask as well. If we don't, are you doing a new version of Lights Come Down?
Are you doing a new version of Lights Come Down?
I actually have made a new version of Lights Come Down, and I just haven't released it yet. And I don't know why. Also, there's a voice in the back of my head, and it belongs to my mother. And she says to me, I love that version of Lights Come Down. And she was kind of like, you don't need to do every single one just because you've made them before. Yeah. And, you know, if you like that version, leave it. Like, let it be Lots of song. And I also do like the new version, and I'm not ruling it out because I've made it. It's mostly there. But there was just something about it that I was like, does it need to be tampered with? Do I need to do it? But, you know, it might happen. It might happen. If there's enough want for it, it might happen.
Yeah, and you've written so many other songs as well.
So that is the other thing. Like, I have so much music and so many more new songs. And because I'm still in this place of releasing the old ones, I don't feel like it's holding me back. But it's just like, it does actually take quite a while to release music, get a campaign, get a music video, do all the stuff. So the longer I keep putting these tracks out, the less I'm like moving on to the new stuff. Yeah. So it's like a seesaw, isn't it?
I would say I actually do agree with your mother's voice.
Debs.
Because I personally think that Lights Come Down is my favourite Lots vocal performance.
Is it? Really?
Yeah. Especially, like, I don't know, the playfulness, like, that where you play with the rhythm. Yeah. There's real, like, depth to the voice. Like, I don't know, I love it. I still listen to it often.
Having said that, though, because although I haven't released a new version of it, I always play it live at my gigs. And I actually find it one of the most fun ones to sing. Yeah. So
you can tell.
Maybe I will release a new version. And maybe it won't be a fully produced version, but maybe like an acoustic. Because whenever I play it live, I really do enjoy it. It's so much fun. So maybe I will have like a different interpretation.
Yeah, I just think you can tell that on the track.
Yeah, it's just so, it's like the message of the song is uplifting and I feel uplifted playing it. So
it could have easily, when you listen to the words and you take into consideration the sentiment, it could have easily been a very slow, somber type off my brain track. And I love the story that you just described of it going from, this came from a really dark place, but then when I realized that I wanted to spread joy rather than holding in this isolation and fear, and speaking to someone that I don't think is there, I love the way it's manifested into this really, really playful song. And it sounds like you love singing it.
Yeah, it does. So watch this space. Maybe there'll be a new version at some point. All right, well, yeah. So that's probably come to the end of our episode for these two songs. So why don't we, play them out with the only living version of Lights Come Down.
The world can be cold, lonely at times. You're back on the ropes, a weight on your mind. You're struggling to swim, you're struggling to breathe. But if you need a friend, then you count on me. You know we don't have to speak a single sound. I'll just hold you when the lights come down. I'll hold you when the walls cave in. Whenever you need me, whenever I'll be there. To hold you when the lights come down. To hold you when the walls cave in. Whenever you need me, whenever I'll be there. To hold you when the lights come down. I'd run every road, I'd run every night, through sunshine or snow, to be by your side. You think you're alone, well I think you're wrong, 'cause I'm not somebody that you can count on. You know we don't have to speak a single sound. I'll just hold you when the lights come down. I'll hold you when the walls cave in. Whenever you need me, whenever I'll be there. To hold you when the lights come down. To hold you when the walls cave in. Whenever you need me, whenever I'll be there. To hold you when the lights come down. And if you want to open up, you can say what you want. Don't be scared to let go. But until then, I'll just hold you. No questions asked, no judgment, no qualms. You don't wanna talk, then here are my arms. You know we don't have to speak a single sound. I'll just hold you when the lights come down. I'll hold you when the walls cave in. Whenever you need me, whenever I'll be there. To hold you when the lights come down. To hold you when the walls cave in. Whenever you need me, whenever I'll be there. To hold you when the lights come down.
Thank you for listening to another episode with me and Megan, Dylan's Deep Cuts. Come and check us out again, and here's the ending that I've already pre-made, so I don't have to say this bit. Bye! Thank you for listening to Dylan's Deep Cuts. Keep an ear out for more episodes in this series by hitting the follow button. And feel free to come find me online at Dylan and the Moon. Have a nice day.